There are a lot of distractions around us nowadays. While technology has benefited us, it has also has a lot of things on the list of distraction. Internet, social media, video games, and many more have become a cause of the time wastage for kids and adults. If we do not spend our time judiciously, it can hamper our dedication and focus towards our goals and success. So, to discuss that, we have Hazel Paul joining us today, an experienced English teacher with 20 years of expertise. She is an outstanding speaker with a remarkable talent of teaching English effectively. So, without any further ado, let's get started.
I think this is our first session. Could you introduce yourself and we can move on, perhaps?
Sure. My name is Kumar Ravish, and I'm working professional. I have around 14 years of experience. I'm into US IT staffing. We hire people from US. So now that's a little about me. Why don't you introduce yourself, please?
Could you tell me your hobbies, Kumar?
Okay. Hobbies include reading books, which I have not been able to do it right now because of maybe unavoidable reasons, I would say. And then I love watching cricket. Even I watch English movies as well. So what else? Listening to music. So that's all about my hobbies
All
and
right. And
areas of interest.
what is your basic educational qualification? What have you studied to be in such a position? You seem to be in quite an elevated position at the moment. Yeah.
Ma'am, I have done my master's, like MBA, from Delhi, from one of the colleges, and then since then I have uh, enrolled myself. Like I deep dive into recruitment. I was a little bit. I think in a couple of years I was into domestic staffing, and then I moved to US IT staffing, and since then I'm there itself. So overall, I would say I started my journey with HCL Technology here in Noida itself as an intern in HR. So after that, I moved to domestic staffing, like I said. So there was my first paid job. I spent couple of years there. So um, yeah, I think I thought let's get into US IT staffing because that was something that was really interesting area to be to get yourself into. So I think it's probably in 2013 onwards I am into the US IT staffing. So yeah, that's a little about the so far my career background.
What motivated you to learn to step into this platform, spoken English?
I think there is always a scope of improvement in almost like everywhere, no matter where you stand. So I think before as well, few months before, I had few sessions. I took few sessions from Englishyaari and few others as well. Parallelly, I have my YouTube channel as well, I would say. And then, yeah, I think, like I said, there is there is a scope of improvement in everywhere. So if I'm getting an opportunity to speak to somebody like you or probably other tutors, you know, there definitely would improve in maybe in certain areas, be it vocabulary, the good usage of say sentence construction or uh, grammar sometimes, and then idioms and phrases. So what generally happens is, look, I mean, when it comes to the work environment, that's completely since I'm into US IT staffing, so we communicate in English itself. However, when you're not at work, when you're at home, I do not have that environment. So normally we communicate in Hindi. So I thought let's join a platform where you get an opportunity to speak to somebody, some experts, right? And so that you'll be in constant touch with English. And parallelly, you have your motive to educate people or share your experience on YouTube through YouTube. So even that will also be met. somewhere down the line. So these are the few things, which were going back and forth in my mind. So I thought, let's get started, because I think when it comes to my YouTube, I think it's been a while that I have not been able to upload my videos, all because of my family constraint. I would say some obligations. So I thought it's been a while now, and let's get into it, because when you've thought something big, or if you have a big plan, or if you're starting something big, so you have to be consistent. So no matter what. So I thought to begin from somewhere, I thought let's join Englishyaari, find people, communicate with them, and then see how things unfold. So yeah,
What's your YouTube channel about?
it is about English conversation. It's about not just English conversation, but also something related to English. I mean, be it sessions. Most of the time, 90% of my videos are conversational videos. However, there are a couple others as well, wherein I am narrating stories. I'm doing something which, again, ultimately teaches English directly, indirectly, be it grammar, be it somewhere idioms and phrases, right? So yeah, that's about my YouTube channel.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I still haven't got, yeah, there is room for improvement. But what happens is when you've come to a certain point, okay, this I understand that you want to constantly communicate in English so as to not lose touch and, cut off the rope there. So that I understand. But otherwise, you've reached a point, as far as I can see, you've reached a point where you have already taken off and you're pretty much cruising on a steady altitude. And continuing with the metaphor, you can always self improve yourself from here on. But that's okay. If you want to continually talk and keep in touch and not cut the thread, that I understand. Anyway,
Absolutely.
allow me to introduce myself,
Sure.
and we'll get on with the session. All right. So my name is Hazel. I've been teaching English language and literature for 16 years in regular institutions and 4 years online. And that is a collected 20 years of experience. And over these years, I've learned a lot of things from my learners, the difficulties and the ordeals they face while learning this new language. And from them, I have developed certain tips and tricks which I can help any learner with, right? And apart from that, I am the mother of two children. Currently, I'm residing in my hometown, which is in Kerala. And I've got lots and lots of hobbies. I'm a painter. I do acrylic and oil on
Wow.
canvas. I do glass painting, fabric painting, and I'm also into clay modeling, which is recently developed, and it's very exciting. I do not mind getting my hands dirty to get something, to create something beautiful. And these days, I'm doing what is known as mixed media art, where you combine both painting and clay modeling together, and it's a thing these days. And the result or the impact is very satisfying. It looks, once your work is done and you mount it, it looks as if the painting is popping off of the frame at you. It's got a three-dimensional effect. The last of my projects, I resined it. Resin is very expensive, but yes, very satisfying. Other than that, I'm an avid reader. I read as much as I can when I do get time. I am a prolific writer too. I compose poems basically. Currently, I am working on a collection of short story and novel. I'm also a musician. I play three instruments and I sing as well. So these are some of my hobbies, which I nurture just in case I go burnt out in the other aspects of my life. Yes.
Oh,
So,
wow. It looks really, really difficult, humanly. How? Because a number of things that you've been doing parallelly looks impossible for people like me. When you're doing so many things all together, looks impossible again. But again, heads up, and whatever you're doing looks like quite impressive, and all the best, I would say. Thank you again for sharing
thank
everything.
you. Thank you. There are 24 hours in a day, and if you want to, one day I gave an assignment in my regular classroom, and it was not submitted by one student. And for some reason, he just stood up and he had the audacity to tell me after a vacation of 10 days, he came back and he had the audacity to tell me, I did not get time. And something about his body language also ticked me off. All right. I just, something about it ticked me off. And then for my better, I don't know, I should credit myself for handling it that well, because I really was surprised when I came out of the classroom. I said, all right, please keep standing. And I want one of you to keep note of whatever he's going to say. And one of you is going to calculate. So we're starting from 24 hours. All right. And before that, I said, all of you will put your hands on the table. You will look straight ahead. And I'm going to time you 1 minute. That's it. That's it. 1 minute. I want you to just check out how long 1 minute is. We just do not give credit. We waste time, and we lose around 600 minutes in a day, and we say, wow, so many things. How do you do it? We can do it. All right, we can do it. And when I calculated the things he was doing in a regular on a regular day, and I asked practically all the students, and pretty much here and there they lost time in 4.5 to 5 hours. We lose our time doing absolutely nothing.
Ma'am, I would
Absolutely.
say absolutely. I understand it. Taking. I think there are so many distractions these days when it comes to social media. There are so many other things as well. People get themselves into Netflix and whatnot, right? And confining themselves, particularly these many things, seem really, really impossible. So if you are able to do that, and like you said, like your 1 minute is really 1 minute, and we probably ignore the fact that it has certain values. And if you really concentrate hard, and if you know your position, if you know your goals, whatever, short term or long term, and then accordingly, if you invest your time, probably anything is possible. So
Anything.
I couldn't agree more, because this is something I really believe in. But like I said, and even if you don't like, even if you want to concentrate yourself, there'll be a number of distractions that'll probably not leave you like anything, and it'll certainly, that's inevitable, it'll happen. It'll come to you, and from nowhere, and you wouldn't refrain yourself from getting into them. So really, really tough time. But yes, if you have wish, if you have the hard determination or alacrity, I think anything is possible, which is
Yes.
which is indispensable. Which is again, yeah,
Yeah.
awesome,
But
absolutely.
with regard to time, we've got to be very tenacious, and we have got to be in control.
Absolutely.
All I'm saying is, if you're wasting 3 hours, know that you're wasting it. All right, know that you're wasting it. Like, there are days when I've completed my chore and I've got some extra time. I did some artwork and I wanted to complete it, and I've completed, and I've got extra time, and I've got absolutely nothing to do. I let myself go. I know I'm wasting 2.5 hours, and but that's on me. I earned those 2.5 hours to do as I wish. Like you said, call five relatives of yours and get upset with them, or gossip, or do whatever that you want to do on the Netflix, or pick up a fight or a skirmish with your husband, or whatever. Then organize the time and do it. All right. Okay, 15
Absolutely.
minutes. 15 minutes. I'm picking a fight with my spouse. Right. Do be in control. That's all I'm asking. Be in control.
Right.
Know that you're
Right.
wasting it. Do not say that, oh God, how do you do it? How do you get that time? The only people I exempt from this would be young moms, the ones who have little toddlers. That is, you just have to drop your timings and be get into their time dimension, so they will feel like sleeping in the middle of the day, and that's the time you get, and you better work around their time dimension. That is what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Other than that,
Correct.
you've got it under control practically. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Anyway, that was fun. Okay, so let's talk about today's pets. Do you have pets?
Not really. I'm not very inclined towards it. I'm not very interested. However, yeah, I mean, I see a lot of people around who have the pets with them, and they enjoy their day. So I, particularly, if you ask this question to me, I'm not very, very interested, in having pets.
All
How
right.
about you, if I may ask you?
I've got a stray dog. He just decided I'm his owner. He crept from under the gate, and he comes inside and he stays. It's a pretty well built dog for that matter. And I
Okay.
observed his behavior. He has clearly been trained by someone and has been abandoned. Either he lost his owner, or he has been abandoned. And I felt really bad for him. And he's a pretty big, bulky dog, actually, well fed, used to have been well fed, and he knows how to walk with you. Like, he was on the street when I was going to the bank nearby. He would walk with me, and people thought that was my dog. I said, no, this is not my dog. And he kept very close. And that is a very particular, let me say, a very stringent distance that you are to keep when you are bodyguarding a human being. Do you get it?
Right.
You are the bodyguard of a human being. You give a certain distance from yourself, and you do not walk ahead. You always walk with them. And he always had the habit of getting between the legs and standing. And I just couldn't understand, what are you doing? And this was difficult when I was wearing a skirt. And my brother told me, oh, this dog has been trained as a bodyguard. That's why the dog is doing that. That is the position when you are guarding your owner. Do you get it?
Right.
In between the leg is because either way your human friend is straight and the dog is standing protruding ahead of you. So in case of an attack, the attack falls on the dog and not the human being, probably something like that. I was very interested, but anyway, so now he's our dog. My daughter gave him a name also, and I've got two abandoned kittens who were in the rain in some other state, and they called me up, and the PFA people friendly people friendly animals or something like that. They called us up, and we went and picked the two little ones and brought them home. Now they're all part of the family, and they think this is their house, not mine.
So that's really kind gesture of you, because normally what happens is people do not adopt. I would say, what it is called,
Take
the dogs which are already grown up, right? So if you're interested in having pets, probably everybody wants that the pets should be bought to a very to an age where you can probably train them as per your convenience, and you have adopted a dog which is already trained, and I think I don't know how many years that dog has spent with his owner.
It must have been, he must have been around 3.5 when he came to my house, but he was quite well trained, and I am learning him, he is learning me. This is what's happening, and
Awesome.
I didn't have the heart to call the dog people or whoever it is that comes from those places and take them. And I've heard they put them to sleep, and I just didn't have the heart to do it. You wouldn't do.
So is this your first experience, or you had your pets before as well?
Oh,
Before this
dear
one?
God. My father was an animal lover. My dad, my brother,
I
we
see.
grew up with a house full of around, say, about 7 to 8 dogs of different. We had Yorkshire Terriers and, labs and bulldogs as well. So
Gotcha.
that's what I grew up with. So I know about dogs. It's not as if I don't. But this just happened on us. Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
I don't take I do not do this sort of a thing, but I just took I just took a chance this time, and it was rewarding because now my children just left, one for coaching, one for learning, and the other one for a job, and now I'm all alone, and these people are the ones who are my friends now. So yeah.
So I can understand, since you've been taking classes, I think from since morning until I don't know what time at night, but how do you manage all of those? I mean, since you're doing a lot of things parallelly and then managing dogs as well, it'd be tedious at a certain point in time.
Well,
What do you say?
I do not, cats do not need a lot of grooming. Cats do not need a lot of attention. The dog does, and I just let him out. I've got a big compound, so he's pretty happy going there, and he's really, really happy barking and, annoying the passerby. That is practically his time pass. And then he plays with the cats also. And he's a pretty
Okay,
friendly dog. He's a pretty mature dog for his age, I must say. That's
I
what.
see. Okay,
So
awesome.
yes, when we say companionship, yes, there are times when when you're sick or when you're not keeping well. I'm very surprised. Cats are the first ones to report to that station. It's like you're in bed. If my son, my daughter, or myself we fall sick or we are coming down with something, they're always around you for some reason. You get it?
Right,
They
right.
it's sort of that they can smell that sense of illness or something. They're always around you, and they're always sympathetic about this. Yes. So
Correct.
I have a, I don't know, and plants too. We used to have lots and lots of plants and animals also next to us. And then my dad went off the handle. He went and bought birds.
Okay.
Inside the flat, he would just leave them open, and they would be flying here and there in helter skelter, and they would be practically defecating on the curtains, which were much to my mother's annoyance. And we had wall-to-wall curtains. Yes, and these things were happening in my house. So practically, it was like living in a jungle in my flat.
Right. That's really something very, very typical. You don't know because animals have their own behavior, right? And animals do not know where to defecate or where to, do certain things which you think that it should be done in a proper way. And at certain point in time, it may cause you irritation. And there are people who probably have a hard time to stay with them uh, by understanding that, okay, I mean, even if I can understand, since I'm a father of a two child, right? Two children, I'm sorry, and then they're twins, and they'll be probably 2 years in the month of January coming next year. So I can understand and the kind of I mean, since you have a lot of things to take care of, you have your job, you have your household chores, and there are so many other responsibilities altogether. And then you have two kids, and you have to manage everything according to them. So managing them simultaneously becomes really, really hard and tough at certain point in time. However, with animals, I can imagine how difficult it would be because I don't know how they're able to understand things could be a little difficult for most of the people who are not dog
grow on,
lovers or
they
probably.
grow on you, Kumar. They grow on
Yeah,
you, and children are not like, see, animals. They grow on you, and since my kittens have grown and become cats now, not much of attention is required there. Even the dog, he knows when I'm going to take a class. For some reason, he knows when I've changed my clothes from my house clothes to formal clothes, and I've worn my watch. He knows for some reason, okay, now this woman is going to go inside that room and never going to come out for at least 2 to 3 hours. But he'll
okay,
be outside the door, he can hear me, and the moment I stand up, he knows I'm coming. So he'll be wagging his tail and ready for me to get it. So they know it. For some reason, it's coexistence, cohabitation,
yeah, yeah,
coexistence. Only when the kittens were really tiny, we had problem. We had to make sandboxes for them, and we had to make teeny weeny, syringes filled with milk for them, and that was difficult. After a while, it became all right, and now they see you as their parent. Yeah, like I said, Kumar, only with children. I heard squeals and peals from your side. I'm sure it's one of your little ones. And
right,
yeah, so, and one starts, the other one starts as well. And especially when there are twins, it's twin trouble, yeah, for you.
right, right, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah. So
to
do you think
manage,
you tend to love them, and how can you, and the moment you think, okay, I'm going to go on a trip for a couple of days and I don't want any more of this for a couple of days, and I decide to go, the moment I am on my way, even not even 10 kilometers away, I start missing all this.
right, that
So
happens,
yeah.
absolutely.
So I was like thinking, should I be going to therapy to get this rectified? Something wrong with me. And I've talked to a lot of friends. They were all saying the same thing, be it children, be it pets, whatever. If you're a home person, you're a home person. End of the day, that's it. And talking about organizing things, like you said, it initially, when something new comes in, it causes a lot of ripples, right? When it's a clear
Right,
water and something comes in, but eventually you will know where to place it. Everything has a place and an order. Just place them in the place and order, and that's all. Only thing you cannot do is when you have really small children like toddlers. They don't understand.
absolutely,
You will have to navigate your way around their time schedule. That's it.
correct.
Okay. So
Yes.
since you don't have pets, I think, oh, your children might want a dog. Would you buy them one?
If this is a question, I don't know. I mean, because it's a future question, I have no clue because we are not very close to animals at this point in time, neither my wife nor me. So if that happens later on, maybe we can give it a thought.
All right. You know what? I'll tell you what. This is a secret. You better listen to it and write down. You better be taking notes or write down. Conditions. Create conditions, Kumar. Will you be giving it a bath? Will you be taking it for a walk? Will you be cleaning him up? Can you do all that? And there is time, etc., etc. Yes, I will not be bothered by this, nor will your mom. Can you do it? Yes, dad. Yes, dad. Yes, dad. Write it and seal it and, frame it and put it up. They might listen.
Sure, but you know what? I mean, they're not able to speak now, since they understand very well. However, they're not able to speak. We are trying our level best, since they'll be 2 years now, probably a few months from now, and we are expecting as if they should be able to speak at this point in time, and even we bother. We I mean, we feel like, okay, I don't know. I mean, if a toddler is 2 years, by the time he should be able to speak, but they're struggling. So I think when I consulted doctor, they said, like, look, if they are able to follow you, whatever you were saying, irrespective of unable to speak, that's perfectly all right. You have to ensure. I mean, it takes time. I mean, maybe 2 years, 2.5 years, sometimes it takes. So you don't have to worry about it. So that'll happen the way it should be. So you shouldn't be worried about it. So since
One thing I'll tell you, when there are twins, they communicate among themselves. They don't need you. One thing, they don't need.
okay,
They do not have the need to talk. Another thing is, if the child is very highly protected and well provided for, they will not talk. I came across two children like this a long time back, and the thing
okay,
is, they just point out to something, you take it and give it to them. You wait till they ask for you the particular name. It is harrowing. The experience is harrowing, but if you provide for them, then there's no need to speak, right? If I just look at something and that is given to me, why would I have to ask?
correct, correct,
Right? All right.
yeah,
So the time is up, and I have got another class as well. Kumar, very interesting talking to you. I hope
same
you
here, man.
benefited. Yeah, because I just wanted you to talk, because that's what you're here for. You do not need any particular topic to talk about, and you don't have pets also. So that's why I talked. All right. So I hope to see you very soon in another session. Till then, God bless.
Sure, sure. Bye for now.